Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. This time I'm going to be talking about my review of Disco Dodgeball. And if you don't know what that is, you can go ahead and take a look at my first look video, which I posted a couple of weeks ago, or maybe it was last week. It doesn't matter. Disco Dodgeball is a game that I had on Steam for a long time now. One of my viewers over on Twitch had gifted it to me, and I didn't like it on Steam very much. And the reason I didn't like it on Steam was because mouse and keyboard, it just didn't feel comfortable to me. And I didn't have a good controller for that particular game. Like, I had a Steam controller, but I had trouble using the Steam controller with Disco Dodgeball. And because of that, I just really didn't like it very much. Now, my son on his PC, he had an old one of my old Xbox 360 controllers that he used, and he loved Disco Dodgeball. So when I found out from the developer, which is Zen Studios, that they were going to be bringing Disco Dodgeball over to not only other consoles but the Switch as well, I was really excited because I felt like the control scheme that I had available to me was the one thing that was getting in the way of me enjoying that game. So something else that got in the way of me enjoying that game is on Steam, there's just so few people that were playing it. And because there were so few people playing it, it generally was just me against bots all the time. And that wasn't fun either. So another reason why I'm excited for it to come to console is because Steam is this huge sea of a million games out there. And it's just so hard to find anything. So I felt like Disco Dodgeball didn't have very good discoverability on Steam. It was a game that people just weren't going to find. And that's why I felt like, even though the core gameplay was actually pretty great, I felt like the game kind of, I don't know, floundered a little bit because they just couldn't get enough people together very often in order to play. Now, on a console, that's going to be very different, especially on the Switch, because there's not a huge sea of games. I mean, yes, the Switch has lots and lots of games for it, but not anywhere near as many that are on Steam. And so, you know, if you talk to developers that are bringing games from other platforms to the Switch, they say that inevitably they sell way more on the Switch than they ever did on Steam. And that's because of discoverability. It's easier to find games. And I don't know how it's going to be on the PS4 or the Xbox One as far as discoverability, because I really don't play. I don't look for games on my PS4. I just get the games that I already know that I want. Whereas on the Switch, I might go out looking for something that I'm not sure about. That kind of thing. Anyway, so I feel like the combination of it being a game that is really best played with a controller, and having everybody have the same controller, in addition to that, I'm really stumbling over my words here. The fact that there's going to be more people playing, I think those two factors are going to make Disco Dodgeball much better. Now, I've been talking for 3 minutes and 38 seconds now. What the hell is Disco Dodgeball? Well, at its heart, it is a first-person shooter, which is a weird way to phrase it, but that's what it is. It's a first-person dodgeball game. You play as a robot that has like a unicycle on the bottom, and you are in an arena. There are balls all over the arena. You go pick one up. They're white. You pick one up and it turns whatever color team you're on. So if you're on the red team, the ball turns red. If you're on the blue team, the ball turns blue. And then it's just a traditional arena first-person shooter, with the exception of you get one shot and then you have to go and find another ball. So just like dodgeball in gym class, you're throwing a ball at the other people who are playing. And unlike in gym class where you are separated by something, you can go all over the arena. So you're all over the arena. You get a ball, you throw it at somebody. You have the ability to jump. You have the ability to boost to go faster. You can pick up power-ups, which will make you jump higher or shoot your ball straighter. You can catch a ball that gets thrown at you if you time it right. It's very difficult, but it's also very satisfying when it happens. Like I was playing just before I started recording this, and I made a mid-air catch, and I was like, yes. This game is a lot of fun. The overall aesthetic to the game is really very Tron-ish. Makes me feel like they've got all these dark colors with overlaid with bright colors on top of them, and it really works well. In addition, they've got some cool EDM music playing in the background, and the graphics kind of pulse along with the music, which I really like. Now, there's one feature that it was on the PC, which I thought was really cool, is you could have it play your music and the graphics would pulse with it. I didn't really try that because I didn't know where to put the music track, and I just wasn't having fun with the game because of the controls that I was having issues with. So I didn't really try that, but I always thought that was a neat feature, and that's definitely not going to be something you can do on the Switch. However, maybe it'll work with Spotify on your PS4. I'm not sure, or Xbox One. That's definitely a question that I should have asked the developer when I interviewed them. By the way, I do have an interview for the developer, which you can find if you click like right around here about now. So Disco Dodgeball is Dodgeball in the future with robots. It's $14.99, I believe, and if you pre-order it, it's on sale. But I think if you're watching this video, the embargo's up, so the pre-order time is over. So it's $14.99 on the eShop, and overall, I've had a lot of fun with it. Now, most of the time that I've played on the Switch has been, well, actually all of the time that I've played on the Switch has been against bots. However, the developer, knowing that this is a multiplayer focused game, they had a press event that I was invited to, where I was able to play Disco Dodgeball against other players. Now, I played it on PS4 for the press event, and that has to do with Nintendo not giving out very many codes for developers to give out to press. But I played it on the PS4, and it was really good. However, I very much preferred on the Switch, and let me tell you why. First off, I could not tell the difference visually just by looking at the game where I was playing it. If I was playing it on Switch or PS4, to me, it looked exactly the same. And it's not a huge surprise. It's a fairly low poly game, and that's like a stylistic choice. It's not that it looks bad. But it being a low poly game, it doesn't require a lot of horsepower to run. So why do I prefer playing it on the Switch? Well, first off, it's portable, so that's good. Secondly, although I probably won't play it portably, but the real reason why I prefer to play it on the Nintendo Switch is it has gyroscopic aiming. It also has gyroscopic motion controls, like for moving, and I wasn't about to try that, but I definitely wanted to try out the aiming so I could play just like in Splatoon, where you move with that left joystick, and the right joystick you can use to make big movements, but for fine-tuning aiming, you can just move your controller a little bit, and it really works well in Disco Dodgeball, and that is the right way to play this game. It is so fun playing the game that way. I just really like it, and there's lots of different modes in the game. It's got single elimination. It's got points, like you get more points by doing a long shot or by ricocheting off a wall. It's got this one mode, I think it's called Kingpin, where you get special powers if you're the Kingpin, and everybody is trying to either defend you if they're on your team, or take you out if they're not on your team. And if you take out the Kingpin, you get the Kingpin's powers, and you can rack up points really fast that way. There's a mode where you have to carry a ball and keep anybody else from getting it. So, somebody on your team is carrying the yellow ball, and you have to defend them from the enemy, and try and take them out if you're on the other team. And that's just a few of the modes. I had a blast playing this online on the PS4. The controls are 1,000 times better using the Pro Controller, and I'm looking around for my Pro Controller, but it's on the wall over there. the controls are 1,000 times better on the Nintendo Switch with the Pro Controller, which I don't understand why Zen Studios didn't put motion controls in the PS4 version of the game, because the PS4 has gyroscopic controls in the DualShock 4. So that was really surprising to me. But overall, I would say that Disco Dodgeball is definitely worth your time and your money because it's a lot of fun. Now, whether or not it takes off is going to influence how good the game is, because if it doesn't get popular, it's going to be hard to find games like it was on Steam. And that would be an absolute shame, because the game is a gem. It's really, really fun. The soundtrack is awesome. I love the music choices. The visual stuff is really, really great. As you level up in the game, you get like loot boxes, which you can't buy. There's no loot boxes that you can buy, so there's no gambling in it. It's just, hey, you leveled up. Here's a box that might contain, a new pair of glasses or a pumpkin hat. Or one of the devs that I was playing against, they had a tin, like a food can, like a Chef Boyardee can of food as their body. So they've got all this stuff so you can customize your character. They've got leaderboards. I think that this game can be a hit, but only if people are picking it up. So I'm going to recommend very highly that you go out and you pick up Disco Dodgeball. It comes out on the 22nd of May, I believe, and this video will come out on the 21st. I'm recording it on the 20th. Pick it up for the Nintendo Switch. Join our Discord community over at runjumpstomp.com/Discord. And I'll probably make a channel there for Disco Dodgeball so people can find matches easily or find people to play with. I don't know how playing with friends works on the Nintendo Switch. That's one question that I didn't ask. Hopefully it's not just you play as solo. Oh man, that's a question that I really should have asked. I'm going to reach out to the developer, and I will post a comment below with the answer to that question if they get back to me before. If they get back to me before you see this. Anyway, I'm out of here. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to check out my podcast over at runjumpstomp.com. It's called Nintendo Switchcraft. You can find it on wherever you download podcasts. You can find it on Spotify. So if you want to listen to it using that, it works as well. And hopefully we can, play some Disco Dodgeball together and hang out in this crazy roller derby from the future. All right. See you next time. Bye-bye.